Hey, wrestling fans, Brian Crazy here, F True Wrestling. Back at you with my Monday Night Raw review from 6/13/2011. It was WWE All-Stars night. It was a pretty good show. We got to see talent showcase from both the Raw and SmackDown brands. This was originally going to be the 2011 WWE Draft, but that had to get moved up due to Edge's injury. We also found out that next week's Monday Night Raw will be a 3-hour event as well, entitled Power to the People, where the viewers will make the decisions. So I just caught this episode on the DVR. I apologize, I did not get to get a review out last night, but I had to help my moms out, and you guys know how that is. So, moving into it. First things first. We see The Miz and Alex Riley in the ring. Stone Cold interjects and says, later on in the night, you both will be on Piper's Pit. You guys know, Piper's Pit is the most controversial talk show in wrestling history. So, for the first match, we go into Kane versus Alberto Del Rio. We see a great match between these two superstars. Alberto Del Rio locks in the armbar. The referee counts to 5. Alberto Del Rio is disqualified, and your winner is Kane. For the next match, we go into the Reformed Legacy. Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, they team with Wade Barrett, formerly of the Core, to go against Sin Cara, Daniel Bryan, and Big Ezekiel Jackson. Now, you guys know Ezekiel Jackson and Wade Barrett will be facing this Sunday at Capital Punishment. This was a good match. Sin Cara picked up the win over Wade Barrett. Then we go into Santino Marella versus Sheamus. And if you guys don't know, if you look past the comedy, Santino is actually a very talented superstar. He's trained in several martial arts. I don't know off the top of my head which ones, but I do know he's trained, and he is a very good technical wrestler. But it was kind of a mismatch. I mean, Sheamus is one of the most dominating forces the WWE has seen in the last 5 years. And me and JC were talking about it earlier, kind of a fantasy scenario. I would love to see Sheamus get back into the world title picture, maybe even pick up the world title for a little bit, and see Triple H come back and feud with him. And maybe this would be the final goodbye to the game, and this would finally push Sheamus into, the cemented main event spot. His attitude's so-so, but when he gets into the ring, this guy is brutal. So we end up seeing Sheamus pick up the win. Then we go into Christian versus Rey Mysterio, and nice solid match. We see some good action back and forth. Christian wrestling as a heel is a little bit different than Christian wrestling as a face, I do have to say. I think the heel turn has given him the necessary momentum to catapult him into the main event spot on SmackDown, where me and JC truly believe he belongs. We were talking about this earlier as well. Rey Mysterio does pick up the win by disqualification. The next match is billed as R-Truth versus John Morrison. Morrison's laid out, but you don't find that out for a couple minutes. First of all, R-Truth comes down to the ring. They play Morrison's music a couple times over. Morrison doesn't come. R-Truth goes looking for him. You find him laid out. He says, oh, look at that Jimmy. Everybody's a little Jimmy. Little Jimmys and little Jennies. And he takes one of the equipment carts and smashes it right into Morrison. Morrison's still healing from that neck surgery. I think it was just a nice way to get him on Raw for a minute to keep this feud alive, not let the fans forget about it. Keep it right here in the back of everybody's minds, just like they're playing the WrestleMania commercial every couple days, because they want you to remember that 28 is coming in 10 months, and there will be the Rock versus Cena showdown. They're hoping to pull record numbers for this, and it is going to be an incredible show. I mean, the Rock returned to wrestling after all these years. So then we go into Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger versus Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. This, yet again, phenomenal. You get 4 up-and-coming guys that are just full of energy, great technical wrestlers, and they just show off. I mean, this is where the WWE shines, is with a lot of this mid-card talent. Not that their main event is stale. Their main event is evolving nicely as well. But this is where they shine with this mid-card talent, just like the Sin Cara Legacy match we had talked about before. We see Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne pick up the win. Then we go into Piper's Pit. We see the 3 stools set up, and the segment begins. And, Piper's going back and forth with these guys, this, that, and the other. And it turns out, I don't remember exactly how they got into this scenario, but it turns out that basically there's a challenge, Miz versus Roddy Piper, with $1,000 on the line. And Roddy Piper jokingly goes, well, shit, if I got to do it, put $5,000 on the line. So these two go at it with Alex Riley as a special guest referee. Alex Riley nails a couple punches real quick on the Miz. Roddy Piper hits the roll-up. Roddy Piper walks out $5,000 richer as the winner. Then we go into a big tag match. I apologize, I got to look over at my notes. This is how many divas were involved in this contest. We see the Bella Twins, Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendez, Tamina, Maurice, and Melina. They go against Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Gail Kim, Eve Torres, Natalya, AJ, and Caitlyn. Now, this was a very quick match. I was hoping with all the talent that it would have been a little bit longer. We did see a big brawl break out at the beginning of this contest. Then it became orderly, and we saw a quick victory. We saw the team of Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Gail Kim, Eve Torres, AJ, and Caitlyn pick up the win because Kelly hit her kind of leg drop, famouser, or whatever you would want to call it, finisher for the win. Then we see Stone Cold come down driving his ATV. He's, talking. The Raw General Manager keeps interrupting him. Then the Raw General Manager becomes just a complete asshole. Just sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just keeps going with the sounds. So Stone Cold ends up taking the laptop, bringing it up to the entrance ramp, pouring beer on it, running it over with an ATV, and then going back for the half of it and carrying it around out, holding it above his head. Then we move into the final match of the night. We see CM Punk versus John Cena. And CM Punk tweeted earlier in the week that, you're going to have Stone Cold and CM Punk on Raw. They better use CM Punk right. And, you can see CM Punk starting to get a little frustrated with the WWE management, the WWE creative, I should say. And they definitely did a great backstage segment with CM Punk and Steve Austin. If I did not mention it, I don't believe that I did so far in this review, but it was a great segment. And then we moved into a phenomenal match, Cena versus CM Punk. The match turns in CM Punk's favor. He ends up hitting go to sleep, and CM Punk picks up the win over the WWE champion in a non-title contest. Big news. CM Punk needed this momentum. He's been on fire as of late. He's been on fire since the Straight Edge Society, in my opinion here. Straight Edge Society, to the to the commentating role, to the new Nexus, to now picking up the win in the main event on Monday Night Raw. CM Punk is going to be doing great things once again. Watch him. He is a great superstar. So, guys, that's all I got for Monday Night Raw. I enjoyed the show a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was a little bit shorter than normal, but I tried to pack as much information as I possibly can. Please also check out my review of Slammiversary 9 if you're also a TNA fan, and also check out all the other videos that we've put up in the week. I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to hear more comments. All the guys that haven't been able to comment lately, please, I want to hear your voices. That's what makes this show so great. For F and True Wrestling, Brian Crazy, and have yourselves a great afternoon.